Hello one and all, and welcome to the Afterthought. This is quite an impromptu afterthought because I wasn't even planning on doing anything with this game, to be honest. I just picked up because it looked like a cheap and cheerful RPG, which, you know, I picked up for like 11 pence, which is nothing. It's on sale at the minute. It's originally was like 70p, so it's like nothing anyway, but I was really like impressed by it because it just seemed to be quite up my alley. You know, it was really interesting, and the amount of gameplay I got out of it, I was really happy to find out it's episodic, so there's more stuff to come, and I don't like, it's all part of the same package. I don't have to pay anything extra for all that extra additional content. It's really good. Now, before I go any further, it is in early access, so it's still ironing out any bugs, as well as adding additional content as it goes on. So let's jump right into it and show you what it has to offer. This game is of course called Terra Incognita, and as you can see, I've logged close to 3 hours. So I would say at this point, I mean, I've already unlocked all the achievements possible at this moment. They are adding additional achievements as it goes along as well, so I'm sure in the end game, you know, there'll be a lot more to do. But essentially I've got to a point where, you know, I've done everything, and it just left me in a state where I was really like enjoyed the whole experience. Basically you play as a character with like this mysterious origin about him, where he's just basically dropped out of the sky literally, and you're tasked with finding out what exactly has gone on without trying to spoil too much. To show you off some combat, it's basically pretty standard. You know, you've got all these different you've got your magic as well as your normal attacks, and then as well as that you also have all your your just basic attacks, which doesn't cost anything, rather than the mana, which would be you'd have to use if you were to go that route. I would say that at this point in the game it's like become extremely easy, and it's interesting because it's had a really weird difficulty curve, and it's something I want to talk about as one of its not so good points, in that it starts off as a pretty tough game, and the further you get into it, and as soon as you get some more characters, it becomes incredibly easy in juxtaposition to that, and it's really odd to find that. As a good example, early on in the game you fight this creature which is clothed in like red armour, and is supposedly a mini boss, from what I could gather. And with this character, you found that you had to use all your items and then and all your magic, and even then you had to hope you got lucky with crits. From my experience with it anyway, in order to win. So a few times I actually lost, and obviously I had to just play the fight again, and it wasn't like you could grind to get more experience to be tougher. It was in a situation where that wasn't possible, because no monster would spawn. This was like your only encounter available at the point in the game, so it was kind of made it a bit more tough. And as a result, I've found ever since I've got all these additional characters that it's become a lot more easy to bypass this problem. I've found the animations to be quite nice. I feel that they're definitely a lot better than a lot of RPGs you see currently on Steam, as you can see them displayed there. Like I say, you know, I came into this totally impromptu, so I haven't exactly got anything nailed down in particular I want to say. I'm just basically going off what my thoughts are on the game, because I feel it's a game that deserves recognition, because I've had just genuine fun with it, and for its asking price, you know, you can't really go wrong. and to know that on top of that, to know that there's like so much content that the developer wants to add to it, it really does enhance the whole experience. I will of course, as always, leave a link in the description so that you can pick up this game if you feel that my recommendation was just. As for like outside of the fault of the difficulty, I'd say that that's the main one I've picked up on. I thought the sound design's been pretty good, the animation quality's nice. I've not seen too much problems in that regard. As far as the they have these like mini quests throughout the game as well, which totally like you could miss them if you choose to, and they really add a nice bit of flavour to the game, and have really kept me captivated to the whole experience, which is good to see. I'm supposed to go to this place called Kiln, but I have no idea where this Kiln place is. Sean probably knows where the Kiln is, but my thought process is that it's unavailable at this point, as, like I say, content's being added on a pretty regular basis, I would say. I think the game's currently been out a couple months. I think it came out in February, so you know I'm not exactly like quick on my mark on this one, and like I say, you know, it wasn't a game I ever planned to cover, but this ended up being one but I just felt compelled to, as is often the case with the Afterthought. As you can see, sometimes because of how the gameplay is now, it's quite repetitive in that I can just spam attack and I would be okay. In the early game it was a lot more difficult, so like I say, there was that problem with the difficulty curve, but the story's definitely keeping me captivated. I want to know how it's going to resolve itself, because it's got genuine intrigue. Now I can't go that way, it told me not to. As well as that, I just think that the landscapes have been quite diverse as well. I can't really show you that off the top of my head, but there's a part where you go in this where you get to go into like a lava-y pit place without spoiling why or what happens, but it for about how long. So here's an example of where, you know, there's more content to be added, and I imagine since that's where West will be, I can't really progress. So at this point in the game I've basically got so much gold, I'm so like heavily leveled that nothing really can take me on. And you have this like weird curve where you go from having just 2 characters to suddenly an abundance of characters in like no time at all, which is crazy. But just in general, I want to keep this short and sweet, I think, because I've kind of done a lot of rambling in reference to this game without like saying a whole lot, even though I've tried to. Like I say, it has been pretty like off the cuff, deciding that I want to like do some coverage of this game. What I want to see in the future is definitely more of the side quest nature of this game, because it's probably one of its strengths, if I'm honest. The main quest line's good, but it's nice to go on these little like embark on all these little like quests what you just don't see coming, and they have just like these weird angles to the game which you never expected. I want to try and give an example of a weird one. Here's a good example, without trying to spoil too much. There's very near the start of the game, there's an option where you could just go to sleep, and you can totally avoid this scenario. But if you don't go to sleep and you go back outside after being told to go to sleep, you can basically embark on like an attack on this creature, and just go on a totally like different quest because of that, which is quite nice. It's a nice open-endedness about the whole game. So as I've shown off, basically I can't do much in terms of gameplay because of the fact that, I've basically done it all for now. But yes, I would definitely recommend you checking this game out. Like I say, at the minute it's on sale. It's only 11p, so why not? Even then it's like 70p when it's not on sale, which is still a great price considering I've got so far like 3 hours of gameplay out of, which are like really quality hours out of them, and there's going to be additional stuff in the future, which is nice to see. So yes, thanks for watching everyone, and as always, goodbye.